This is Access to Experts, where we interview business and professional experts and ask the questions you most want the answers to.
Hello, I'm Jodina St. John, and this is Access to Experts. We have a great show for you today. Our special guest is Mark Harris, the director of the Market Leadership Forum, which helps individuals and businesses break through to the top of their market. Mark, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Jodina. It's my pleasure being here.
Now, Mark, you've partnered with Jay Abraham, America's #1 marketing wizard, to create your Thought Leader Secrets program. Please tell us, what is a thought leader?
Well, a thought leader is the person that people naturally think of when it comes to fixing the kind of problem that they are facing. You know, once you're recognized as the thought leader in your niche, you become the go-to person. You become the default provider of advice. When you talk, people listen. Every element of your marketing is magnified exponentially. By definition, leaders have followers. Prospects will come to you instead of you spending lots of time, money, and effort trying to get their attention. And if you want people to follow you, then becoming and staying the thought leader is essential.
Why do you think you've been so effective in helping others to become thought leaders?
Well, Jodina, the biggest trends in marketing are getting away from selling. As many people are skeptical of the various selling approaches in the marketplace, this has created a huge need for people becoming experts instead of just vendors. Becoming an expert or a trusted advisor circumvents marketplace skepticism and creates an atmosphere of trust, which creates smoother client acquisition and retention. Jay Abraham and I have spent decades learning what works in the area of marketing and thought leadership. We have both done what we teach. We have taught thousands of professionals in this area. We've assembled the know-how from the most successful and most accomplished in all these areas of thought leadership, and we love sharing it with others.
Now, Mark, there's many who know in their hearts that they are thought leaders, but they may be facing challenges in being recognized as a thought leader in their industries. What are some of the mistakes they may be making that are keeping them from becoming thought leaders?
That's a good question. I would say the first mistake is trying to do too much. In just a few minutes, I could show you almost 100 strategies, everything from writing books to doing Google AdWords to Twitter to becoming a public speaker, becoming a copywriter, and the list could go on and on. And the point is clear. All these things sound like great strategies. Why? Because they are. But you can't do them all, at least not right now. Most people spend an enormous amount of time doing things that don't matter or things that are not most important right now. This equates to being mediocre at best. And that will not make you a thought leader. And you'll either go broke or your profitability will be extremely marginalized. So start with the top 3 approaches, get them done right, and then go on to doing more.
So you're saying focus on the top 3 most important things and do them well before moving on.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's the next mistake people make?
Well, the next mistake is not positioning yourself as the expert. Actually, there are 2 parts to this. First, not positioning yourself as an expert, and not positioning yourself as the expert. First, you must decide to know the ins and outs of your market. You must decide to become an advisor and a teacher to your client base and your market. This is positioning yourself as an expert. Second, you need to make a decision that you will position yourself as the preeminent expert in your field. People will come to you instead of you begging for an appointment. They'll be excited about everything you say. They won't screen you out, they'll seek you out. You'll be able to charge more, you'll be able to have more quality clients. Everyone wants to know what the leading expert thinks.
Give us an example.
Well, sure. So let's say you're an accountant. You can call people up, you can advertise, you can give them quotes, but this just makes you a provider. In fact, it makes you a commodity. Instead, we would have you start to teach your clients why they need an accountant, what specifically an accountant can do for them, what are the advantages of using a skilled practitioner, and even the process of what needs to be done. Then the client values what they are buying when they use your services.
Oh, that makes sense. So that way they can see the value.
Exactly.
What's the next mistake to be aware of?
Well, the next mistake is not selecting the right expertise positioning. One of the most important decisions you'll ever make is your market positioning. It's the way people will naturally see you or not. Most entrepreneurs either go too high or too low. Another way of saying this is too general or too specific. For example, too general is, I'm an attorney. Better would be, I'm a personal injury attorney. Better still would be, I'm a personal injury attorney who specializes in automobile-related accidents. See, now this is where the other side of the mistake gets a little tricky. Some people go too specific, and if you go too narrow, there might not be a big enough market to support yourself.
So not too narrow and not too specific.
Exactly.
What else should a thought leader be aware of?
Well, this is really important. Becoming the market's most trusted advisor. You must learn to really love your clients and put yourself into their shoes, and then give them access to everything they need to become successful in your area of expertise. The way Jay likes to put it is, you must look at them like they're your children, and you're looking after their best interest. You know, they need to feel like you care, that you know what you're talking about, and that your advice is sound, regardless of what it is. And this takes a number of mindset changes in order to occur. It's not difficult, but there is work to do.
Great. So to be a true thought leader, you must first become a trusted advisor.
Absolutely.
What's the next mistake to avoid?
Well, selling your clients too fast or selling them too slow. Everyone needs clients, but many independent professionals and expert advisors sell too quickly. Instead, you need to listen to their problems, their challenges, their issues, and then teach them about the solution. Not necessarily your solution, but educate them about what needs to be done. This is selling, but it's the beginning of what I call educational selling. Now, in addition to that, you must be careful not to sell too slow. You can easily give away everything you know without making a dime. You must learn to strike the right balance between free and fee. And the best approach for doing this is educational selling.
Can you give us an example of how that works?
Sure. The best example I can give is sending out a book or a booklet or an ebook instead of sending out a brochure. Most brochures are going to be thrown away. Most books are kept. It's that simple. People value education, but they abhor selling materials.
So practice educational selling.
Exactly.
Okay, let's quickly review the top 5 mistakes to avoid when becoming a thought leader. First, trying to do too much. Second, not positioning yourself as the expert. Third, not selecting the right expertise positioning. Fourth, not becoming the market's most trusted advisor. And finally, selling your clients too fast or selling them too slow. This is all great information, Mark, and I know there are many in our audience who would like to get help in becoming a true thought leader. What are some of the questions they should be asking before choosing a program such as yours?
Well, that's a good question. The first question they should ask, understanding that one size does not fit all. So does the program cater to customizing it to your very specific needs as an expert? Now, actually, Jay and I are both of the opinion that there really needs to be a unique strategic plan for you to become the thought leader of your market. Your plan will include elements, strategies, and even systems of other thought leaders that they've used that are proven to work. However, it must be a unique combination that will be the best approach for you to get you to the top of your market.
What's another question they should ask before choosing a program?
Does the program have clients who have actually successfully used it to do what you're trying to get done in becoming an industry leader? Now, both Jay and myself have trained industry-leading experts. Jay has worked with some of the more high-profile national and international experts, where I have focused more on the local and regional advisors. Now, we have both taught these strategies to thousands of clients who have successfully used them.
Is there another question they should ask?
Yes, there's another very important question that should be asked. Is the program digestible? And can you put it into action without too much stress? The Thought Leader Secrets program is a group mentorship program that is done in modules. Now, we worked hard to make this take not much more than a half hour per working day on average. But the value created by investing to become the most trusted advisor to your market far outweighs the time you put in. It's not hard, but it does take some work to get to the top.
Mark, we really appreciate the information that you've shared with us today, and I know there are many in our audience who would like to get in touch with you. How can they reach you?
Well, the best way is to go to www.thoughtleadersecrets.com/mini. That's M-I-N-I. And you can register for our Thought Leader Secrets mini course there at no charge to you. Now, Jay and I have put together this Thought Leader Secrets mini course, which is actually a multi-lesson program that all by itself will help you be well on your way to becoming the most trusted advisor to your market. We'll share with you more about why you want to be a thought leader if you're an independent professional, expert, consultant, or entrepreneur. Now, in addition, you'll learn what you need to do to actually become a trusted advisor and what it takes to get to the top of your market. We do ask that you give us your feedback on what you're learning and your comments and suggestions, and we use this feedback to make the Thought Leader Secrets program the premier program for becoming the leading advisor in your field in the market you serve.
That's a lot of valuable information that you're giving away for free, and we can find it on your website, right?
That's correct.
Could you give us that address one more
Sure.
time?
That's thoughtleadersecrets.com/mini, M-I-N-I.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Jodina. It's been my pleasure.
I'm Jodina St. John, and this has been another segment of Access to Experts with our special guest, Mark Harris, the Director of the Market Leadership Forum.
This has been Access to Experts, where we interview business and professional experts and ask the questions you most want the answers to.